everyone. So for today's video, we're going to discuss about migration. Sa topic na to, matatakal natin kung ano nga ba ang migration, kung ano nga ba ang immigration, at kung ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng international sa internal migration, at ano nga ba yung two factors of migration, at ano nga ba ang net migration. At mababanggit din dito ang positive and negative consequence of migration on the relieving country. At ang panghuli ay ang types of migration. Pero yung types of migration ay pahahapyawan ko lang dahil patatakal naman natin to doon sa video presentation ni Glyza. So let's start. So, what is migration? When we say migration, it is a permanent movement of a person from one geographical location or region to another. Pag sinabi kasing migration, ito yung paglipat ng paninirahan ng tao mula sa isang pook papunta sa ibang lugar. Kumbaga, ang migration kasi ay maaaring panandalian o pangmatagalan or pansamantala o permanente. For short, ang migration ay nangyayari dahil sa iba't ibang mga dahilan gaya na lamang ng paghahanap buhay o paghahanap ng ligtas na tirahan. Next slide is what is immigration. When we say immigration, it is a person's leave their place or resident or their homes or country and move to another for a number of reasons. Ang immigration ay tumutukoy sa pag-alis o pangibang bansa mula sa orihinal na bansa o kinagistang bayan upang magtrabaho o maghanap buhay at makapaghanap ng ligtas na tirahan. Maaaring ang pag-alis nito ay permanenteng iwan ang isang lugar o bansa. Isang halimbawa ng immigration ay mahirap maghanap ng pera at trabaho sa Pilipinas. Kaya ang mga ibang Pinoy ay umaalis patungo sa ibang bansa gaya ng Australia, Canada, New Zealand at Europa upang sa ganon ay may padala sila na pera sa mga naiwan nilang kamag-anak dito sa Pilipinas. Next slide is when someone leaves his country to go another, we call that overseas or international migration. International migration it is occurs when people cross state boundaries and stay in the host state for some minimum length of time. Ito yung kapag may umalis sa kanyang bansa upang pumunta sa ibang bansa, we call that international migration. Next slide is when people move from place to place within a country, we call that internal migration. Internal migration it is a movement between regions within the same country and over relatively short distance. Ibig sabihin, ang internal migration, ito yung paglipat ng mga tao sa isang lugar sa loob lang ng kanilang bansa. Halimbawa, galing akong Bulacan, pero lilipat ako ng tirahan sa Manila. That we call that internal migration. Parang umalis ka lang sa lugar na kinagisnan mo at lumipat sa isang lugar, pero andun ka pa din sa bansa mo at hindi ka umalis. Dumako naman po tayo sa 8 types of migration. Itong types na to ay babanggitin ko lang siya. Kasi doon sa video presentation ni Glyza ay matatalakay natin ito at mabibigyan niya ng diin yung 8 ito. Kaya ang unang types of migration ay ang immigration at pangalawa ang emigration. Magkaiba ang immigration sa emigration. Pangatlo ang international, pang-apat ang voluntary, pang-lima ang forced, pang-anim ang temporary, pang-pito ang rural to urban, at ang panghuli ay ang urban to rural. Dumako naman po tayo sa two factors of migration. Meron po tayong dalawang factors of migration. Una dyan ang push factors and the pull factors. At ang unang factors of migration ay ang push factors. When we say push factors, it is things that cause person to leave their residence. Ang push factors, it is a flow or distress that drives a person away from a certain place. Ang push factors ay ang rason na nag-uudyok o nagtutulak sa isang tao na umalis sa kanilang lugar. And here are the some reasons of push factors people away from home. First is the war. Second is crime and violence. Third is poor education opportunities. Fourth is limited jobs or no jobs. Fifth is low salaries. And last is lack of technologies. The next factors of migration is the pull factors. When we say pull factors, it is the things that cause person to come into a new areas. Ang pull factors ay ang mga positibong salik na humihikayat o humihila sa kanila na pumunta sa isang lugar o bansa. And the reason ng pull factors ay ang availability of jobs, high salaries, low crime rate, technological advantages, availability of recreational facilities. Next slide is what is net migration? When we say net migration, it is refers to the difference between the number of immigrants and emigrants in a country in a particular year. It is the rate of people moving into a country less the number of people moving out of the same country. Ang net migration ay ang pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng bilang ng mga emigrante o yung mga taong pumapasok sa isang lugar at ang bilang ng mga emigrante o yung mga taong nag-iiwan ng isang lugar sa buong taon. Next slide is the positive consequences of migration on the receiving country. The first is the new skills are introduced into the labor force. Second is the creation of a multicultural society. And the last is the readily available labor force. And the last slide is the negative consequences of migration in the receiving country. The first one is the greater pressure on the resources of the country. The second is greater pressure on the social services of the country. The third is the social resentment towards the newly arrived. And the last is the changes in the country's structure. Thank you and God bless.